all, and welcome back to another episode of Rank Masters. My name's Seth. I almost said Trace. That's not my name. That's someone else's
Seth,
name. All right, hi, I'm Trace.
My name is... Oh, man.
Off the rails already.
It's been a while since we've recorded.
It has. It's been like 3 weeks since we recorded the previous episode. We've been kind of like... having ups and downs of schedules and emotions and all that kind of jazz, but we're back. The critics of internet lists are back.
Ah, you said it.
I had to remember at some point, and I couldn't figure out how to flow and do it perfectly. You know how I am. But yeah, Trace, how have you been since we last recorded?
It has been busy. Work has been busy. It is now springtime.
That it is.
Maybe, possibly.
I mean, we're in Kansas. I don't think weather matters anymore.
But it's a lot warmer. People are expecting you to do more, go outside more, and I don't want to do it.
True.
So it's just been busy.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to be back here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm much of the same position. Life has also been very chaotic. I don't think Kansas cares what season it is, though, because like it was 80 degrees one day and then 30 the next, and I'm like, thank you, weather.
Midwestern weather is very wild. I was out at an event, like it was like this entire event, and there's like a bunch of booths set up, but it was windy as hell, and some of these booths had like, you know, the canopies.
Yeah.
And those canopies were literally flying away, and people were trying to catch them.
Oh, I love that.
It was terrifying, but it was a lot of fun.
I'm glad you had
That's where
fun.
I also got these... My chin got sunburned, so now I have these things that on camera look like zits, but they're actually worse. They're blisters.
Ooh.
So...
That sounds painful. On the chin. Ouch.
Yeah.
Like, of all the places to get a blister.
Luckily, my chin is huge and masculine, so it doesn't move a lot when I talk, because it's just so big and shows how much of a man I am.
Yeah, that's... You know, the number one qualifier I have of masculinity is chin size. That obviously.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So men have big chins, women have small chins, non-binary people have no chins.
They have no chin, honestly.
No chin.
You know what? Maybe that's why they could pull off all the style that they got. Because we talked about in the past, non-binary people have like the best style. I swear to God.
The best.
They know how to pull off outfits, and maybe it's just the lack of a chin. Who knows?
It's the chin. It's all in the chin.
It's all in the chin. All right. Well, I guess we should probably... We've been dancing around actually talking about the list a little bit. I mean, hey, maybe we could just do a whole episode without even introducing the list. It's going to be fun. I mean, hey.
Introduce the list.
I'll introduce the list. Hi. Okay, so this time around, we're going to be talking about depression. Because that was one of the reasons we hadn't recorded in 3 weeks. It kind of hit me.
It was depression.
Yes, that it was. Sometimes we need to be serious on this show. Only sometimes. And it won't be for most of this episode. Probably.
No, the least serious thing we've ever talked about, depression.
I mean... Yeah, kind of.
I don't know. We've talked about alien abductions. We've talked about Pokemon.
Yeah.
We've talked about
Pokemon twice.
Drugs.
True.
Yeah, depression seems to be the least serious out of all those. I'm very serious about my Pokemon.
Yeah, knowing you, yes, I'm very aware. But yeah, I found a list of 11 quote-unquote natural depression treatments, and I'm saying that with heavy air quotes because if you're anything like me, you've heard a lot of suggestions as to how you can quote-unquote cure or treat your depression, and they're all bullshit, you know? And yep.
Yep. No, I was about to say that they're all terrible, and you decided to say they're all bullshit, and I was like, I feel like your word was more extreme, so I mean, adding to it does nothing for me here because you're already on the nose.
Maybe I should have gone for a less intense word out. No, maybe.
Yeah, and then I can play off of you, you know, like then I get to say bullshit, and then I'm the hero.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah, I found this list from WebMD. Because I was going through it for a decent while, And I saw this. I'm like, huh.
Going through WebMD for a decent while.
Yeah, I was going through WebMD. WebMD is just slang for depression at that point.
Famously, WebMD, the place that you go when you have one tiny thing wrong, and then it tells you have cancer.
Yeah, precisely. You know, it's just worse Google. Holy shit.
I have a horrible what?
I was gonna say Google's better at like telling you the right disease than WebMD is.
I mean, Google always refers me to WebMD, so I don't know how true that is.
Oh, fair.
But like, I have a horrible habit of anytime something feels wrong, I instantly go to WebMD. I go to Google, I type in like, side hurts a little bit more than usual, and then then it pulls up and it's like, your kidneys are failing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god, my kidneys are failing.
Your kidneys. Dang, that's tragic.
I need to stop looking at, like, everyone always tells you do not look up your symptoms online.
It's a bad thing.
And I fail every single time.
But like, what alternative is there? Because you go to like actually talk to a doctor, and most of the time they have no like comprehension or understanding or empathy for what you're dealing with, you know?
Oh, don't get me started on doctors and having no empathy.
I mean,
fuck them. So
we've talked about that a little bit in the past.
It reminds me of that one like Tumblr post that was like comparing the salary of a furry porn artist and a doctor.
Oh, that's a classic.
Very good. And it's like, can a doctor draw Rogue the Bat? Thick as she is wide or something like that?
Unfortunately, no.
No.
But a furry artist can, and can also diagnose you with what's wrong in like half a second of hearing about your symptoms.
It's like, oh, I'm sorry you're going through that. To me, that sounds like ADHD, or it sounds like, I don't know, something else that furry artists always have.
True.
Bowel movements problems and ADHD.
Honestly,
the life of a furry artist.
Actually, why is that so true? I think most of the furry artists I know have IBS of some sort.
There is such, I don't know what it is. I mean, it reminds me, okay, I saw this video a long time ago of like, it's one of those preachers that like, they're at on a campus and they're like, you know, saying a bunch of homophobic shit.
As they do.
And it was like this lady and she screams, all of you take it up the ass and then you wonder why you have irritable bowel syndrome. And everyone just started cheering.
I mean, that does explain it though.
And it's just so funny.
But yeah, you're right.
Because it is a problem. So many gay people seem to have like stomach issues. And you know what? Maybe it's because
we put
do
stuff
horrible
up our
things
butt
to ourselves.
That tends to happen. Huh. Damn. Tragic.
Sorry. And now for some reason I'm thinking of another video that's like, it's a couple at a diner and like one's going to pay. And it's like, and they look up and they're like, are you gonna bottom for me tonight? And the other one's like, no. So like they go down and they're like, 2 receipts instead of 1 receipt. Man, I love the gays. I love our culture.
We have such a very unique like dynamic and culture of interactions, I swear. And it's so fun. I love it.
I love it. It's so fantastic. Anyway, depression. Tell me about it.
I was gonna keep on going. Okay, yes. Let's get back to the depression list. Yeah, this is WebMD's list of 11 things that are 11 natural things you could do to like help take care of your depression. Before we get into the actual like list, I pointed this out before we started recording. The sidebar recommends an article that says what is ketamine, how it works, and helps severe depression. I'm like, yep, this site knows that we're gay people. All right, here we go.
Yeah, let's go. Azealia Banks, horse culture. No,
it's like what, 2 episodes in a row where we brought that up. I love it.
I cannot stop thinking about that. It is hilarious because it's so true.
It is.
For people out there, what is it? What is that one thing? It's like a stud party, or
I don't know. I don't get invited to parties.
It is very deep gay horror culture. Not horticulture, horticulture.
No, I mean, you mean gays don't get around and just plant things? They plant seeds.
They do plant seed.
They do plant seed. Ain't that the truth?
And also, a bunch of gays also really do like plants for some reason.
I do know that, yeah.
But no, just our culture. It's so she was so right. We are horses. That's what we are.
That's true. All right, let's get into this list because we've been recording for almost 10 minutes now. Holy shit, time flies.
I don't know. Half of that was us troubles.
But yeah, I mean that tends to be the case all the time. Tech issues, whatnot. But hey, we figured it out. All right. Number 1. Oh, I just smacked my microphone. I'm sorry to anyone listening. Number 1 on this list. It says get in the routine. Which if you know anything about depression, that's very hard to do when you're depressed. It says if you're depressed, you need a routine. It says Ian Cook, MD. He's a psychiatrist and director of the Depression Research and Clinic program at UCLA. Depression can strip away the structure from your life. One day melts into the next. Setting a gentle daily schedule can help you get back on track. Now, you see, it already recognizes the problem with that strategy.
Yeah, so it's literally like, okay, it is the just don't be sad, but from a professor.
This is don't be sad. Do the thing that depression stops you from doing.
Yeah, like it's literally it's that with more steps. It's like the professor's like, oh, you're having a hard time, like having a schedule and, you know, doing your daily tasks. Well, have you tried having a schedule and doing your daily tasks?
Yeah. You know what? You're right. I hadn't tried that. Let's go for it.
Like, yeah, wow, this thing I'm struggling with, if I just did it, then it's all fixed. You're right. I'm seeing the error of my ways. I understand now.
Yeah,
Which, I mean, it gets into spoon theory, which is like something, I don't know how outdated it is anymore. I think like there's different ways to refer to it now. But spoon theory, for the uneducated in the audience, is like this theory that you only have so many spoons. I don't know why they chose spoons.
It's a weird.
They chose spoons.
I think it's just because it's an easy thing to grab at like a table, and like you could demonstrate this physically for someone if you need to.
Okay, well, you have only so many spoons to give away throughout the day. Some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller, but you only have so many spoons. And, like, different activities take a different amount of spoons to do. So, like, taking a shower, that's 1 spoon. Getting dressed, another spoon. Making breakfast, another spoon. And if you only have 3 spoons and you've just done all those, now you're done. Your body doesn't feel like it can do anything else anymore. And that's spoon theory. Some people have like 2,000 spoons.
Good for them.
Some of us have like half a spoon, and that's just how it works. And yeah, those days that you have half a spoon really, really suck.
Yeah.
But telling us to like steal some spoons from somewhere else isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
We gotta find something else.
And I mean, one major aspect of spoon theory that like we talked a lot about in my psychology classes is that you can steal spoons from a future day. Like you if you're out of spoons,
yeah, like
you can draw from like the future and overwork yourself today, but you will that means that you will have fewer spoons for like however many you need, like you used up. Like
yeah, you're stealing from yourself, like from your future self, and it's going to make the next days even worse.
Yeah, and
which is why it's usually not recommended to do.
So like this whole idea of getting into a routine, I'm like, that is literally just you're putting yourself in spoon debt. You're just gonna have less and less going forward, and I'm like, that is not a good strategy. You know, it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, as someone who has struggled with depression their entire lives, my strategy is be kind to yourself.
True.
If you only have 2 spoons, choose the 2 things that you know you have to get done that day, no matter what, and that's what you spend them on. And be kind that you don't have any more spoons to give to anything else.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's absolutely okay. You know, and if showering isn't one of them, fuck it. Who needs to shower?
Then don't fucking shower, all right?
Do what you consider essential to your life, and just, you know what, embrace it. I get it. I get it.
Let's say it's the weekend. You have a homework assignment you have to do, and then, I don't know, you have to feed your animals.
Important
and you know
things.
that those 2 things have to happen today no matter what, but you only have 2 spoons. Use it on those.
Yeah.
Okay? You can eat your chips and your depression food. You can not take a shower. You can lounge around in your underwear all day. Just do the things that are important to get by, and eventually you'll start to feel more more replenished because you haven't been exhausting yourself day after day.
Oh my god, yeah. And that's a hard thing to convey to someone who's not like familiar with the idea. because I have a lot of friends who are incredibly depressed, and they're like, no, I just need to keep on doing literally everything that I do every single day and keep pushing forward. I'm like, no, that's killing you. That's not gonna work, buddy.
Be kind.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you're depressed and your depression is 50 spoons, hey, more the power to you. I'm happy for you. Like, do it. But don't tell people who have depression and their depression gives them, like we said, half a spoon.
Half a spoon. It happens.
Don't be mean to them.
Yeah.
Maybe go and help them. Maybe be like, hey, you know, I see that you're struggling. Is there anything I can do to maybe relieve the pressure that you have today?
Give someone
maybe
your
do that instead of saying, maybe you should try getting a routine.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ian Cook, MD. Ugh.
I'm pretty sure we'll probably be hearing from him a lot.
From what I understand, this entire article is from him, which big part of why I picked it, because I expect most of this to be bullshit. Such as
where is his credentials again? Where did he go to school? Like, what is he doing?
He's a psychiatrist and the director of the Depression Research and Clinic program at UCLA. So he does
UCLA.
He's a clinician, and that's that like I don't know. I feel like you get exposed to a lot of people and aren't necessarily in the best position to give general advice like this. Like, this might help for very specific people in very specific situations, but in terms of general depression, as someone who lives it, no.
No.
I think that's more evident when you look at, like, number 2. His recommendation is just set goals. It says,
set goals.
When you're depressed, you may feel like you can't accomplish anything. That makes you feel worse about yourself. So push back, set daily goals for yourself. Start very small, Cook says. Make your goal something that you can succeed at, like doing the dishes every other day. As you start to feel better, you can add more challenging daily goals. Buddy, say...
Oh, yeah, the thing that I definitely want to do. The thing that I definitely want to do after I finally regained my strength is to deplete it all in one day and put me right back at square one.
Oh my god, yeah, for real. And I'm like... The thing he points out here is, like, you may feel like you can't accomplish anything, and that makes you feel worse. But, like, if you set a goal, and then you don't wind up accomplishing that goal because you don't have energy for it, that makes you feel even worse than just not setting the goal.
Worse.
Yeah.
Now, I can see some things. Washing the dishes, bad example. That is, like, for me, that takes, like, a bajillion spoons just to do that.
Washing the dishes
doesn't matter even on
a
good day. So, like... Something for me, something that I like to do is my goal is to take a shower. That's normally what I like to try to do.
Good goal.
It's like if I can get up and I can take a shower, then I've accomplished something today. That's good.
Yeah.
But that's what you should do. You should do like simple things that you know like make you feel a little bit better, but it's hard to do right now. And you should be like, okay, I know that I'll feel a little bit better after this. This is a goal that's easy enough for me to do. Do that. Sometimes that goal just needs to be get out of bed.
For real. Yeah, sometimes oh my god. Sometimes you just get stuck in bed gravity and like you literally cannot get out. You know, I understand.
Yeah. Like literally if your goal is get out of bed, you've accomplished it. Good job.
Hell yeah.
But don't make your goal something that's like for the next month, every other day I am going to wash the dishes. Because that is so easy to fail when you have depression, and it's just going to make you feel worse.
Yeah. And, like, even if you have a dishwasher that makes it take less spoons, that is still a pretty daunting task.
It's still, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when you have depression, it's a whole lot easier to say, like, present. Don't think about the future.
Uh-huh.
Because normally you start to disappoint yourself, and normally you can get trapped in your depression thoughts. Stay present. Be like, I'm here. Here's some things I can do right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm going to play a video game, because I know that's something that, you know, maybe takes less spoons for you. For me, playing a video game takes 1,000 spoons. But for some people, it's very easy tasks. And that's what you should be focusing on. You should be focusing on like, if I don't get this finished today, then in 2 months, I'm going to fail my entire classes and I'm never going to be the same again. And my life's going to be a failure because that's what starts happening.
You get spiraling real quick when you start thinking about the future. I hate thinking about the future. And I have to be thinking about the future a lot right now, which sucks.
Yeah, and it sucks.
Maybe that's why I got put in the depression spiral a few weeks ago. Like, goddamn, dude. I started the new job. I'm looking for new ones too. I'm like, it's a lot.
Well, that's like there's been a lot of like turmoil going on at my job right now, and I started thinking about like, do I need to like start looking for a backup or something? Mm-hmm. Like, because people like are kind of sucking right now at my job, and then that made me get into like kind of a spiral, and I was like, nope. Not doing it today.
About it. Yep.
I'm just gonna right now. I'm just gonna focus on the work I have to do today, and then I'm gonna play The Sims, which is like the only video game that I have that takes no spoons.
Honestly, yeah, Sims is a good one for when you're just dead and tired. I get it.
Minecraft and Sims.
Minecraft takes a lot from me. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, my brain, the way I can process Minecraft just doesn't work. Like, there's so much that I have to constantly be thinking about when I play Minecraft. Like I only found out recently that you could drop TNT through, like, TNT minecarts will explode on contact from fall damage. Mm-hmm. And I only recently found out about that. And I'm like, this is another thing I have to add to my head now. And then literally everything surrounding fireworks. Why are fireworks the most complicated thing for me to? Like, they're not even that complicated, but my brain just doesn't understand them at all. And I don't get it.
They're also like non-essential.
They are if you have an Elytra or Elytra or Elytra.
Elytra.
If you want to fly, whatever it's called.
I mean, to make like a rocket is just gunpowder, paper, and that's it, right?
Yeah, but like, what are the different durations do outside of like I know they.
Oh, who cares?
Yeah, but do they have actual effects for your thing? What is the recipe for each duration? What if you want to put it in a crossbow and deal damage? You want a small explosion, a large explosion, a star explosion, a creeper explosion? Like, there's so fucking much.
That's what the wiki is for. You don't got to store that in your brain.
I
know. You play Minecraft in a different way than I play Minecraft.
Yeah, I know. We play very different ways.
Because like a game like Smash Bros, that you play for some reason, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it costs you 1 billion spoons too.
Costs me even more now.
Yeah, but like Smash Bros, like I can't play that without like exhausting my brain. I can't play most story-driven games without exhausting my brain. Like Minecraft and The Sims are like the two that I can just be like, all right, I'm just gonna watch and let it go and have fun.
I'm with you on that. I don't like a lot of story-driven games. I think for me, the games that I enjoy most are the ones that I could just pick up and play. Like, I think that's what draws me to Smash Bros. Is because I could just pick it up, play for like 5 minutes, play a single game, and then just be like done. And like I play a lot of roguelikes too, like Spelunky and whatnot. And I'm like, those are very quick, and I can knock them out and go boom. Dicey Dungeon, for instance. I mean, that's a bit of a longer one, but like zero story I have to care about. I just get to play a game and roll dice. It's fun.
That you are completely correct about. Like, literally yesterday, I looked up for the first time in my, the first time in my adulthood life, I think, cool math games.
Oh my god. Yes.
And I was like, I just need something to click right now while I'm waiting for someone to respond to my email. And that's what I did. And like, I almost, like, do you remember Cookie Clicker?
I do remember Cookie Clicker. I saw someone playing it on Steam the other day. I'm like, that's amazing. Flash the past.
I almost chose Cookie Clicker, but then I was like,
that one takes a while.
I think I'm just gonna go to Cool Math Games, because that one I can pick it up and I don't have to worry about it. And I feel like if I did Cookie Clicker, I'd get attached. And then like 3 months from now, I would still be playing. I was like, I don't need that. I don't need that at the moment.
Tends to be the case now, doesn't it? Yeah. I'm glad you picked something that's more enjoyable for you in the moment.
But anyway, that is why deciding goals is hard. That's what we were talking about. That is
what we were talking about. Yeah. Moving on to number 3 on this list of recommendations. This is the one that literally everyone with depression has heard. Exercise.
Fuck this. Fuck this so much. Let me speak my truth.
Yep.
So, being a fat person that goes to the doctor, literally everything you do, you get told to just exercise. Mm-hmm. Like, you will go in and you'll be like, wow, I think my spleen is exploding. Or my kidneys are failing. No, I think something is horribly wrong. And they'll be like, have you considered exercising more? And I'll be like,
I haven't. What a revelation.
Or like, I go to my doctor and I'm like, wow, I'm having like frequent and like very horrible migraines. And they're like, have you tried walking every day? Like, no, I haven't thought about that because there's no correlation. Thank you.
There really isn't. Like, migraines have nothing to do with physical exercise, really. Like, I mean, yeah, I can't think of anything.
You think doctors would be able to look at migraines and be like, wow, migraines happen in everyone. They happen in skinny people, fat people, young people, old people.
Mm-hmm.
But because you're fat, we're going to think it's because you're fat.
Yeah. You know,
like that happens to everything that I go to my doctor for any type of like medical issue. The one time I went to my doctor and I was like, man, my left knee's been hurting a lot. And I guess I wanted to ask you, like, do you recommend anything? And I was bracing myself for a bunch of exercises and then maybe something that would help. And she's like, have you tried taking aspirin?
Ooh, straight to the chemical. I like it.
And I was like, no. I was so shocked because a doctor had never just told me, like, have you like tried just taking pain medication? A lot of people have knee problems.
Yeah, that's true.
And like I felt so seen in that moment. And I felt so like understood. I miss that doctor. That doctor's last name was also Cook.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I just realized that. I was like, wait a second.
Strange
that was Dr. Cook. I can't keep that doctor because she's currently in the city that you live in, and I can't travel every time I need a doctor's appointment. And I don't even think she works there anymore. I think she finally left.
You mean you can't drive 2 hours literally every time you have a migraine?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's not going to work. And I do think she left the city too because the hospital she was working at shut down.
Ugh, that's tragic. Yeah,
because it was in that big conglomerate hospital that's all over Kansas that has been closing like smaller clinics.
I know. Yep, I know what you're talking about.
The best doctor I ever had. Unlike my child doctor who prescribed me diabetes medication when I didn't have diabetes.
Oh my god, that's still a wild fucking story every single time. Like they almost gave you diabetes and they're like, "Yep, this is fine. This is normal." No.
And it was all just to make me lose weight.
God damn it.
Man,
fat phobia
I love
is
being
real.
fat. It is. We're probably gonna get flack for that.
For what? For saying fat phobia is real?
Yeah, people don't believe it. They think it's not a real phobia.
People don't believe fat phobia. The people who don't believe fat phobia is real have never met a fat person. Just in general,
probably.
They've never met one. I'm just telling you right now. God damn.
So if you're one of those people who think fat phobia isn't real, have you ever looked at yourself and been like, man, I'm really fat and that's disgusting? Congratulations. You just committed fat phobia against yourself.
It happens.
But yeah, exercise. Ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, there is some credibility to this. If you have the ability to do it, it is something that brings you joy, then exercise can help some people.
But big emphasis on if you are one of the people that it brings you joy, though, you know, because it does not bring a lot of people joy. Most people see the argument here. I'm gonna read this quote for quote. Exercise. It temporarily boosts feel-good chemicals called endorphins and may also have long-term benefits for people with depression. Regular exercise seems to encourage the brain to rewire itself in positive ways, Cook says. No, it doesn't.
I have never once finished exercising and was like, yep, I feel so much, but not a single endorphin was released. Normally it's like, wow, I feel disgusting and I want to lay in bed for 15 hours now, which is not something a depression person should be doing.
Correct.
A person with depression should be doing. Like, you're going to tell me that after I go and completely destroy my body, that I'm going to be finished and be like, yep, that was successul.
Oh,
and by destroy, I mean, like, by destroy, I don't mean like actually destroy it like I would with a male suitor in bed.
No,
irritable bowel syndrome.
That kind of exercise does make you feel good. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what, Dr. Cook, maybe you're onto something.
Just instead of recommending that we go for a walk, just recommend we get railed once or twice a week. You know, that's much more fun. Maybe
we go for... I was trying to think of some word that I could use, and it did not work.
That's fair. Yeah, I just like the way that it's phrased here. It's like regular exercise seems to encourage the brain to rewire itself in positive ways. I'm like, that's not how the brain works.
You know what the problem is?
What?
He's at he's in California.
Actually, you know what? True. California is not a real place, so anything that comes out of California is completely invalidated. It just doesn't exist. It's not real.
The reason I say that is because people in California are weird.
True.
Like, they are the ones that would go for a walk and be like, you know what? I think I feel better.
Yeah, I don't.
And okay, go for a walk is something different. I can see maybe if you're feeling trapped inside your home or something, like going for a walk can make you feel a little more grounded.
Yeah.
But once again, prescribing that heavy-handed to everyone of like exercise will make you feel better usually isn't going to work.
I used to be a cross-country runner.
Like, ew, you were?
I was, yeah. Middle school and high school, I ran cross-country, and like literally every time I would do, the only sense of joy that I got from cross-country was results. I did not get joy from the actual action of running. I got joy from seeing a good number go down. I like seeing I'm fast now. That's the only sense of like positive emotions I got from cross-country.
That sucks. I'm sorry for you.
Yeah.
No, because like I was talking with my brother who also ran cross country. I was talking with him the other week, and I was like, that was the worst sport to watch.
It's so boring,
like I was dragged along, and I was like, we got to cheer when you started and to cheer when you got there, and the other 20 minutes was nothing.
Yeah,
but then he did bring up, he was like, well, you were only there for like an hour, and that was it, and then the meet was finished, and I was like, well, you know, maybe you're onto something there. That was better. But as for the actual event itself, sucked.
Yeah.
Like not a spectator sport at all.
My favorite memories from when I was in cross country was the bus rides to and from like various colleges and high schools, and just playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon on the bus ride every single time.
Of course, it was Pokemon Mystery
Dungeon.
Dungeon.
Like, what the fuck else am I gonna do? I didn't have a phone at that point. Well, I guess I had an iPod, but that's, you know, not the same. I'm like, I have a Nintendo DS. I'm gonna play games. You know, that was the most joy I got out of it. I'm like, if my parents are gonna force me to run, I'm gonna at least have fun getting to the place I'm gonna run at.
No, see, I like had the like music, the iPod. That was my thing, and that's why I know the lyrics to like 10 million songs nowadays.
Fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
sorry, I'm laughing because I stopped talking and expected a response right as you were taking
I was drinking. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
my experience with the iPod, I think if I had like more money when I had an iPod, I would have had that experience. Literally, the only songs I was able to listen to were
Christian rock.
No, actually, I didn't have any Christian rock on my iPod. Well, I had one Toby Mac song. But that's I had a Toby Mac song that I don't remember the name of. I had Teo Cruz's Dynamite.
That unlocked a core memory when you said Toby Mac.
Really?
I was like, ew. Well, because like, you know, in like the gay denialism phase, I was like the music leader for my youth group.
Yeah.
So I got to choose the music for our evangelical church. So, you know, they chose some newer music.
As tends to be.
For them to sing to for our youth group. And, you know, I never like chose Toby Mac for them to sing to because I'm not going to have a bunch of like white Christian kids trying to rap to white Toby Mac because that would have been a disaster. But like when people were coming in, like I'd play Toby Mac or something like that to like hype people up for the youth group. Oh man, how times have changed.
Oh my god, I remember my church, like they played like 21 Pilots and Mute Math before the service. I'm like, these are not Christian songs.
What? Well, I mean, 21 Pilots.
They're a Christian band, but their music is not Christian, you know? Like, it's just kind of generic vibe music.
Yeah, I mean, rest in peace my enjoyment of 21 Pilots, but that is wild.
I still enjoy Mute Math, though, thankfully. Like, they're pretty cool. I like Mute Math.
Yeah, you know what? Good for them. I think the only time I've ever listened to Mute Math is when I'm with you.
Yeah, that tends to be the case now, isn't it? Like me with Rainbow Kitten Surprise, right?
Yeah, exactly. By the way, check out Rainbow Kitten Surprise.
Oh my god.
Dropping a new album this week.
Oh, wait,
Not
really?
this week. Sorry, this year sometime. That's a very different.
They
just released
very
a new
different
single.
Measurement of time there, Trace.
Yeah, they just released a new single. not too long ago.
If they do wind up
And it was
dropping this
okay.
week, that's going to be hilarious.
Biggest prediction of my life.
Watch it drop like the day this episode goes live. The Wednesday this drops. What day is Wednesday this week?
Well, it wouldn't be Wednesday. It would be on Friday.
Oh, fuck you, I guess.
So, something from an music director of a radio station. All of like the big artists drop on Friday. Like that's just the day that people should drop music. And normally the only time that people don't drop on a Friday is either they're so big that they just don't care, or they're so little that they don't know the custom yet.
Should we be changing our podcast to drop on Friday? Is there a logical reason to it? I guess just have it available specifically at the weekend, so it's fresh when people listen, like when they're not busy.
I don't know. I'm sure there's like some justification for it, but I can't remember. But like that's the time that you would always check like the music distribution services, because that's when like the wave of songs would be dropped.
Huh.
Well, they would be dropped as in they would be legally allowed to play now.
Yeah,
because I got music so far in advance. Like this was such a cool thing of being a music director. Was that you would get music like a couple weeks in advance before it was like legally allowed to be played. So I was listening to music ahead of time, and I was like, oh hell yeah, I feel so important. But it was also country music.
Oh, so. I'm sorry. Never mind then. That's a shame.
But I enjoy country music. I didn't enjoy everything that was coming to me and that I had to play, because I hate a lot of modern country music stars. But whatever. It was still fun. I still got to see a lot. And Taylor Swift also would always come through. Because for some reason, like even though she doesn't sing country music anymore, like her label that she was on when I was a music director was still a country music label, so they would still distribute it to us. So I'd get Taylor Swift music early, and listen to it. So it's fun times.
I think that's really funny. Is like you signed with a country label, and you're like, I'm not doing country anymore. Let's do something completely different. And like, okay, well, we'll keep supporting you, I guess.
Well, the Swifties out there know exactly what label I'm talking about, and I still hate them.
I'm sure they do.
Because of what they did to Taylor.
All right. Shall we move on with the list of depression?
We can move on to depression.
Okay, let's talk about moving from Taylor Swift. Let's talk about being depressed. Number 4, their fourth recommendation, very similar to number 3, which was exercise. Number 4 is eat healthy. Woo!
Actually, I kind of agree with this one.
I agree, but also, as mentioned previously, it is very hard to eat healthy when you're depressed. It's hard to eat healthy generally anyway, you know?
Yes, if you are currently depressed, just eat whatever your body will allow you to eat.
Yeah.
Because it's more important that you get the nutrients than anything else.
Eat a box of Cheez-Its if you need to. That's what I do when I'm depressed.
If you have to, just literally, I normally will get like Cheetos and milk, and that's my food.
I want crunch and dairy because that's the only way I feel things.
Exactly. So if you are, you have a history of depression, and you know that it's probably going to come up again, but you're not currently depressed, try to eat a little bit healthier. That is okay. And if you have no spoon, like if you're in the middle ground, something I love to do is just buy those pre-made salads.
Ooh, yes.
Oh my God, so easy. Literally open them, eat them. Like they come with a little fork a lot of times too, so you don't even have to do dishes. Like it's beautiful for people with depression. Me that are like, they're not on the such a low depression that your body doesn't want to eat anything, but you're still depressed. Pre-made salads, oh my God, lifesaver.
Yeah,
because you don't feel so dragged down by how much the gallon of milk you decided to drink yesterday. You at least get to have some green in you.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. I think my go-to my fruit or veggie that I do whenever I'm I know I'm going to be depressed, or I'm prepping for that kind of stuff. I get a fuck ton of apples. I eat apples all the time. They're just I love apples. They're great.
Depression preppers.
Depression. You're right. We are. But yeah, notably, that's not what Dr. Cook is talking about.
What is Dr. Cook saying?
Dr. Cook is saying there's evidence that foods with omega-3 fatty acids and folic acid can help ease depression. And he specifically recommends salmon and tuna alongside spinach and avocado. And I'm like, no depressed person is going to eat seafood. I'm sorry.
Yes. Let me go to the fancy fish restaurant.
We're not getting salmon.
Also, way to recommend like the most expensive. Well, I mean, spinach is pretty.
Spinach more pricey than lettuce.
Like wait.
Which like, lettuce sucks. I hate lettuce. Like I think spinach is tastier than lettuce, but like it is more pricey.
Yeah,
you know.
But yeah, like a way to recommend like expensive foods to the depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Which are normally poor people because they are depressed because they're poor.
Yes, fun fact.
You know
having
what?
money
Actually,
is hard when you're depressed.
You know what? Actually, I add to this list the next one. Money.
Money.
Give them money.
Yes, eat money. If you eat money, that will help your depression.
No, not eat money. Just give them money. Give a depressed person $100, and I guarantee at least part of their depression will be cured.
Genuinely true, actually. $100 could like that would make my day if someone just dropped that and like as like a Twitch sub donation or something like that. Woof. That would like light up my
literally
life.
The best way to cure depression. Give them money.
True.
Because normally depression, like my depressions are normally when like I'm like, man, you know, am I spending my money right, dude? Like, which oh my god, sorry, there's so many tangents in this episode.
It's okay. Time? You know what? If we make this a fucking 2-hour episode, that's okay. Or we can get through like half the episode now and the other half next episode. I don't care. Who cares? We do not need to stick to anything. We have 0 goals for this show. We're here having a chat about depression, and that's what matters.
So my Wells Fargo girlies out there.
Okay.
So I have Wells Fargo, all right? Due to life circumstances and stuff that happened, my credit is fucked. But because Wells Fargo is such a shitty bank, they'll normally accept anyone. So my brother, who works in banking, I know, class trader, whatever. He tells me to get Wells Fargo. Like how long ago was it that I dropped out of college?
It's
you 4 years ago?
Like halfway through my sophomore year. And I've been out of college for a year after graduation. So I think 3.5 years. Yeah, almost 4.
Yeah. So like 3.5, 4 years ago, I got a Wells Fargo account. And I was like, okay, cool. This will be my bank because my other bank kicked me out because I kept on overdrafting because I had no money. Mm-hmm. My family didn't have money. So I got a Wells Fargo account, blah, blah, blah. Turned to this week. And I'm like, I probably have like another $200 that I can spend before I get paid next, and that's fine. That'll get me through. That's fine. I open my bank account, and there's like almost $1,000 in there. And I'm like, where the fuck did this money come from?
That's pretty good, yeah.
And so I look at it, and I start looking, and I'm like, where the hell did this money get deposited from? And I was like, did something get bounced so I have money back? But I'm going to have to pay like the bouncing fee.
I hope
like
not.
What happened? So I look on it and then it says deposit, Wells Fargo fees in NTE, NCE, something like that. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Is this like a problem? Like, did they accidentally put money in my account that wasn't supposed to be there? So I look it up. I look up the code and I'm like, what is this? Turns out Wells Fargo was like sued by either, like, I think it was like a government, like the FTC, I think possibly, sued Wells Fargo for like $1 billion settlement because it was stealing money from its from the people who have bank accounts with it. Like they were adding like extra overdraft fees and other fees that were not supposed to be done. So I got injected like a bunch of money because I guess they had stolen a bunch of money from me, so I got it back in the lawsuit.
That's fucking hype that you got your money back, though. That's awesome.
But now I'm like, do I need to find another bank account because Wells Fargo's stealing from me?
Well, hold on. If they just got sued, they've probably got a lot of eyes on them. They're probably going to stop the whole stealing thing.
But the problem is the reason I chose a Wells Fargo account because they accept everyone because they had just had another scandal like a year previous to me getting the account.
Yeah.
So they are constantly getting into scandals, so I don't think they ever learn.
Well, but I hope they learn from this one. I hope they stop stealing from you.
So what I learned is that if your money did not get automatically deposited, you can call customer service and be like, hey, am I owed money through this lawsuit? And they'll be able to walk you through it. So that is my PSA to my Wells Fargo girlies out there. If you think you're owed money, call customer service, and you may be having money sitting that they just haven't gotten around to sending you yet, and you can remind them that you deserve that money.
Get yourself that bread, bitch.
And like, not everyone's getting as much money as I did. Some
True,
people
yeah.
are literally getting like $50, but still,
Money's
money's
money. You know,
Get
$50 still helps. Yeah, I money is definitely a big contributor to a lot of my depression as well. Money and thinking about the future are like the main things that send me spiraling. And
like,
they honestly,
I will say,
like,
depression cured that day.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Shall we move on? Number 5.
Yeah.
Are we ready for that one?
Wait, what were we just on?
We were talking about eating healthy.
Okay,
you made the joke about give them money. I'm like, yeah, eat the money.
Okay, next one. Go ahead.
I really am a deer, aren't I?
Yes.
Paper, delicious. All right, number 5. Number 5. It says get enough sleep. Depression can make it hard to get shut-eye, and too little sleep can make depression worse. What can you do? Start by making some changes to your lifestyle. Go to bed and get up at the same time every day. Try not to nap. Take all the distractions out of your bedroom. In time, you may find sleep improves. Again, all things that really
stupid.
can't be done when you're depressed.
Like, I can see getting sleep if depression makes you like have insomnia. Try to get sleep.
Yeah.
But then telling people fall asleep at the same time, wake up at the same time. Like, yes, that is fine to do when you don't have depression currently. Like, a lot of these are maybe those depression preppers like us that we talked about. But if you currently have depression and you are looking for a cure, my cure is, once again, just do what you can to survive.
Yeah, literally be kind to yourself. Do what your body feels like you need to do. If you need to stay in bed till like 3 p.m., do it. I'm not going to get mad at you. Like,
you should not get mad at yourself. I will say something that helps me when I have depression is like using one spoon to get out of bed. Because, you know, staying in bed can make your body like have weird problems with the circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
So I choose to use one of my spoons when I'm depressed to get out of bed because I know it's something that helps me personally. So my recommendation is maybe use one spoon to get out of bed. You can go and nap on the couch if you want to. You can go back to the bed to nap, but try to get out of bed when you can. That's what I can say. If you don't, be kind to yourself.
Yeah, I agree with that. Standing up just in general can tell your body, okay, it's time to get going. It can kick things into gear.
Exactly.
But goddamn, like saying be specific with like the time that you go to sleep, the time that you wake up. It specifically recommends not napping. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you say that to a depressed person? All I want to do is lay down and take a nap. Like, that is the only thing I think I'm capable of doing.
One of the best things for me is a depression nap. When I am depressed, I can take a nap and I can usually feel at least a little bit better when I wake up. If I don't take that nap, I'm usually like in my doomer mode by the time I'm going to bed. So like maybe naps are good, actually.
Naps are pretty good. I agree. Which, like, honestly, kind of the opposite of naps when I'm not depressed. Because when I'm not depressed, if I take a nap, I feel like shit when I wake up.
Maybe you need to take a better nap.
I just think my ability to nap has been hurt in ways, shapes, or form. Yeah. But we're figuring it out. We're living with it, you know.
I think, you know, this could be like, I was just going to say again, like, this is good advice for maybe if you're trying to prevent depression or trying to help yourself not fall into a depression spiral so easily.
Yeah. And
you feel like you can. Not good advice for the depressed.
I agree. I think if you're currently not depressed, do what you got to do. Set those schedules, sleep the way your body, like, sleep in a way that's best for your body, you know, try to get out of bed at a certain time and all that jazz. If you're depressed, do what makes your body feel good. You know, if you need a nap, take a nap.
One of the best things someone ever told me was like, when you're depressed, just drink a bunch of water.
True. Which,
honestly,
I've
it helps.
never seen that as a recommendation from like one of these like lists of recommendations, but it does. Getting water in you helps because it makes you have to stand up and pee.
It's like, yeah, it was like, 1, it makes you stand up and you have to pee. 2, your body needs that water and it can help do processes throughout your body.
Yes.
Which, you know, make you feel better, make you feel more like you're able to do things. It gives you some more spoons. And another thing, is go lay outside in the grass. Touch grass. IRL touch grass.
Did you really tell our audience to touch grass, Trace? Really?
No, literally, like not a long time ago, but maybe a few years ago, someone was like, "You are a plant."
7,000 generations.
It's like, you are a plant. Your body needs water and it needs sunlight, and those two things will help make you feel better.
That is true.
And they're right. And, like I said, if you don't feel like you can do that, then don't. That's okay. Maybe sit next to a window or something. But feel the sun on your skin.
It really do help.
No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in.
All right, with that on the way, let's move on to number 6 on this list, which I think this is the most potentially damaging one we've had so far. Number 6 says, take on responsibilities.
What?
Yup. It says...
No. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. What it says.
When you're depressed, you may want to pull back from life and give your responsibilities at home and give up your responsibilities at home and at work. Don't. Yeah. Staying involved and having daily responsibilities can help you maintain a lifestyle that can help counter depression. They ground you and give you a sense of accomplishment. If you're not up to full-time school or work, that's fine. Think about part-time. If that seems like too much, consider volunteer work. No.
No, you bitch.
That's just...
I think...
Go for it.
I was just going to say, I think one of the major problems that gives so many people depression today is our current workload and how we work. Just constantly. Always.
Yeah, you want to
never
add
giving
more
ourselves
to that?
a break. So you're telling someone who's depressed, who can barely feel like they can get out of bed, you're like, yeah, you should still be going to work every single day.
Mm-hmm. It's
like,
wild.
that is why there is such a huge push for mental health days today.
Yeah.
Because people realize that one of the best things you can do for yourself when you're depressed is not work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's very saddening to see how stuck in the ways of like the 5-day work week of America is. Yeah. Like, goddamn. It's like, it used to be a 6-day work week, right? We used to get Sundays off for church and nothing else. And then they added Saturday as like a day off. I think because of Ford or something along those lines. And then
I think it was actually because the workers revolted.
That would make much more sense than Ford trying to be nice. But like,
yeah, Ford was not nice. I think it was actually, there was like a general worker strike to create a 40-hour work week, and that was what was created.
Yeah. And it's still like, it is still a lot. It's still too much for a lot of depressed people to handle. And if you can't, don't add more to that. That's too much. Do you know what? Focus on yourself. What have we been saying this entire podcast episode? Listen to your body. Focus on yourself. Do what makes you, what gets you out of bed. And
do not get fired.
Don't get fired. Yeah, that's true.
Do not get fired.
That will not help.
Maybe be honest with your coworkers and say, hey, don't tell your boss, depending on where you work. Yeah. Because sometimes your boss will take that in a horrible way. Bless up capitalism.
Bless up.
But literally just tell your coworkers, hey, I'm struggling today. Can you help me? Is there a way? Like, some of them will say no. Some of them will be dicks. But some of them will be there for you and help you.
Yeah.
And if you really, really have to, take a sick day.
I think that like is a big part of why service industry work is so hard for a lot of people with depression. Because like, if you're in a more concrete hourly pay job or something like that, if you're having an off day, you can still make money off of it. Like, even if you're not performing at your peak, if you're taking fewer responsibilities and having someone else help you, that's fine for you financially. If you're in the service industry, the money you make is entirely based on how many tables you take, how many orders you handle, or something like that. Like, how many tips you can generate. I'm like, God damn.
Servers specifically, it sucks.
It does.
Because when you're depressed, it's so hard to smile at every asshole who like tells you to smile more.
True.
So I get it. And I mean, other service industry jobs like hospitality can be sucky because you're constantly having to work and cater to people, and not service industry jobs, but like warehouse jobs also suck because it's like a constant push. those can suck. And I get it. If you are in that industry, I am not telling you to do something that'll get you fired, but maybe just try to be kinder to yourself a little bit. Understand if you fall behind a tiny bit. Like I said, try to get help from coworkers. And if all else fails, take a sick day.
Yes.
And you, like I'm saying, that can be a tough choice to make, but try to understand your body. Is your body at the same place it would be if you had the flu right now? Because sometimes depression can get you to that place.
It really can, yeah.
It's okay. Like, treat mental illness the same as like other illnesses. Because if you ignore it, then it only gets worse.
100% agree with that, yeah. I don't think I have anything else to add to that. That's
good.
Absolutely right, yeah. Shall we move on to number 7 then?
We could go to number 7.
All right, number 7. This one, I'm not 100. I read this earlier and I wasn't 100% sure what they meant with this one, but it says challenge negative thoughts. It says, in your fight against depression, a lot of the work is mental, changing how you think. When you're depressed, you leap to the worst possible conclusions. The next time you're feeling terrible about yourself, use logic as a natural depression treatment. You might feel like no one likes you, but is there really evidence for that? You might feel like the most worthless person on the planet, but is that really likely? It takes practice, but in time you can beat back those negative thoughts before they get out of control. This works for me. This works really well for me and my autistic brain, because I love logic, and that's just how I process things. This doesn't work for a lot of neurotypical people.
I will say that I have found myself in two places. If I am like at my lowest depression, trying to work through anything logically doesn't work because my brain is no longer focusing. Like, it is not operating on logic at that point. But like when I'm at that point, what I need is a distraction. I don't need to like work through things. I need to get a distraction until I feel a little bit better so that I can start focusing on the positive things, or like being like, is there actually any evidence? Like, that is actually one of the best things I can tell myself is like, is there actually any evidence? Like true evidence, not like a feeling or someone gave you like a weird look. Like, that's not real evidence. Someone has to like tell you straight up that it was there, and then you know. Like, you can never actually be sure. Like, those things do help, but I have to get to a place where my brain will accept those ideas first. Because if I am like super depressed, if I try to tell myself, is there any real evidence? I will believe that like a weird look is evidence. I will believe a bad vibe is evidence of something. And I will fully commit to that. And if I start thinking about that while I'm super depressed, then that becomes reality for me. So my suggestion is, if you're in the trenches, baby, then you need to just get a distraction. Yeah. But if you feel good enough to like work through those emotions, it's honestly a good suggestion, surprisingly, from Mr. Cook here, that like a lot of times you can work through those things, and you do need to work through those things and understand and be kind to yourself and realize what is true, what is not true, and get to a point where you're feeling better about your situation. I agree. Sometimes you need those distractions. I think that's a big, like, honestly, most of the time when you're depressed, I think you get down far enough that you need a distraction just to pick yourself up at some point in time. But I think this is a good recommendation if you have the right type of depression. And that's the thing. Like, this is a great recommendation for me when I have anxiety. Yeah.
But when I'm depressed, I am not in touch with how I feel at all. I don't, like, if I'm feeling like no one likes me, I don't recognize that. Like, I can't counter that thought because that thought isn't actually in my head. It's not conscious. And this is great if your depression is caused by thoughts, or if it's like driven by thoughts, I suppose. But mine isn't. My anxieties are driven by thoughts, but my depression is more based on physical feel. And that I don't physically feel like I'm worthless or like no one likes me. I just feel like my body is dying or something along those lines. I'm like, I love this recommendation for anxiety and for the right types of depression, but this is not how depression expresses itself for me. And
I will say, go ahead. Sorry if you're not finished. But.
Well, I think that might also be like contributing to the, like, there might be a cause, a factor of the autism thing. Because, like, my logic brain is constantly happening with the autism thing. And I like how I'm phrasing that, the autism thing. I'm just gonna keep saying it like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, part of me wonders if the reason I don't have those kind of negative thoughts when I'm depressed are because my brain's like already logicked it out, and it's only physical feelings after that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's weird. Brains are weird. Depression's funky.
It's like one of the best things I can tell myself when I'm really depressed is I have been here before and I've gotten out of it and I can do it again.
Yes. Good one.
Like your first bit of depression, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. But like when you've had depression for so long, one of the most powerful things I've been able to tell myself is just, I've been here before, I've been through this. Sometimes I'm able to say I've been through worse and I've made it and it's going to be okay. At the end of the road, it's going to be okay. Because, after that depression episode, I've been able to do fun things, hang out with cool people, enjoy stuff again. And I just have to remember that I've been here before. I've done this dip. Just got to get through.
Yeah. I think that's a good line of logic to follow whenever you can. And I think that is the one that definitely keeps a lot of people, myself included, going forward. And that's true of like any like recurring mental illness that a lot of people have, like whether it be depression, anxiety, or grief, even like no matter what you're going through, you've been through shit before. You've made it this far, I think it's a good one to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a life raft.
It is a life raft for sure. All right, number 8. Boom, boom. All right, here we go. And I think this is, funnily enough, count like the opposite of one that he's talked about before. But it says, check with your doctor before using supplements. It says, there's promising evidence for certain supplements for depression, Cook says. Those include fish oil, folic acid, and SAMe, which I don't know what that means.
Same.
Shut the fuck up.
Go ahead.
It's like SAM is capitalized and the E is lowercase, so I think it's like Sammy or whatever, but I don't know what that supplement is. But more research needs to be done before we'll know for sure. Always check with your doctor before starting any supplement, especially if you're already taking medications. Don't throw weird extra stuff into your body if you're medicated.
No, let's talk about the supplement industry.
Yeah,
and how it can cause a lot more problems than what it's supposed to fix. Like if you want to take a supplement, talk to your doctor first.
Absolutely.
Ask them to recommend a supplement that they like.
This is coming from two people who hate talking to doctors because they always give like bad things. Don't take supplements without a doctor.
I am not like there have been people who have taken supplements and they'll end up in the hospital because they have an excess of some type of vitamin in their system and it's killing them. So I am not joking when I say talk to your doctor to recommend a vitamin before you take a vitamin.
It's wild. Yeah, my mom is a nurse and she kept putting me like on a ton of these like multivitamins and whatnot. And I was talking with my doctor about that, the lab result I mentioned in a previous episode about like how my liver is showing signs of damage. And like, have you been taking a lot of multivitamins? Like, could that have caused it? Yeah, apparently too much of anything is a bad thing.
Yep.
And
that's very true.
Too much vitamins, fish oil, any of these supplement things that are supposed to be like miracle cures or whatever, they can't hurt you. Don't take them without recommendation from a doctor.
Like, here's my example. I have a fish oil supplement, but that's because every time I go in for labs, they'll always be like, wow, everything looks great. I just wish you had more good cholesterol. And I'm like, how do I get that? And so they told me, I was like, every week or something, or whenever you remember, just take a fish oil supplement.
Yeah.
They did not tell me to take it every day.
Oh God, no.
You don't need to do it every day.
So bad.
Just whenever you remember, take a fish oil supplement. So I have them next to my sink, and whenever I look at them, I'm like, I haven't taken one of those in a while, and I'll just take one.
Yeah.
So that seems like a good recommendation from a doctor, not something that's take 15 multivitamins a day
every single day. Oh my God, it's so excessive and so unhealthy. Don't do supplements unless you're told to. I swear to God. And the fact that you could just get them over the counter, you could order them on Amazon or just pick them up at Walmart without needing a prescription or anything. These.
I mean, you'll look at the label and it'll be has 5 days worth of vitamin E3 or something. And you're like, why do I need 5 days worth in one pill?
You don't do that. Do
And
not.
a lot of people will take those daily. And I'm
Why?
like, you are now getting, like, in your week, you are now getting 35 days worth of whatever vitamin it is. And that's not good for your body. That is not going to be good. And that's a completely, like, not completely, but very highly unregulated industry.
It
So they
really
can put
is.
a bunch of shit in there.
Yeah.
Because supplements are not regulated by the Food and Drug Administration.
There's
because
no
they're technically
need
not
for
a drug.
FDA. Yeah.
And so they can put a bunch of wild shit in there. And what is it? Like, they can only be regulated if someone files, like, an official complaint. And then they can look into them.
I don't know.
It's a very weird thing. But I would honestly caution against any supplement unless it comes at a strict recommendation from your doctor that you trust.
Yeah.
Not just a random doctor you decided to go see one day.
Yeah, that's a little awkward for sure. That's the thing. Like, we have a lot of dislike of doctors here. I mean, but supplements are not the same as a lot of things the doctor will tell you to do. And if a doctor's not telling you to go on supplements, don't go on supplements. Even if they are telling you to go on supplements, at least, like, look into it too. Because, like, sometimes doctors tell you to go on things and, you know, cough, cough, wink, wink, the fucking diabetic medication you went on, goddamn. But that's not a supplement.
It was worse than a supplement.
Yeah, that it
was.
was.
Like, that, again, like, also do your own research. Like, if a doctor says take this supplement, and then it's one of those that says, like, 5 days worth of this in a single dosage, like, maybe that wasn't a good recommendation.
Not a good recommendation.
Like, also use your brain.
Yeah. And I do think doctors are less likely to recommend supplements than medications, because medications are expensive, and doctors make money off of prescribing people medications. They don't make money off of telling you to go eat fish oil or something like that. You know, like, if it's not an actual prescription, they don't earn anything for it. So a lot of the times they're telling you to take a supplement in earnest, which means that they're less likely to do it illegitimately, you know? And they'll usually give you, like, good advice for it.
We need to return to the days when doctors would prescribe you things like horseback riding. Like, oh, I have a concussion. What is my prescription? Horseback riding.
I don't know. I think we need to go even further back. I think we need to go back to the days where doctors would prescribe things like bloodletting.
Cocaine and leeches.
Cocaine and leeches, baby. Let's go.
You're so right. You know what? Let's go back. We're going to update it to today. We need prescription for ketamine and sex.
Yeah.
And there you go. Depression is cured.
Okay.
Together.
Yeah, at the same time. Do sex and have ketamine.
Do sex and have ketamine. Give me the t-shirt that says that.
You know what? New Rank Masters merch just dropped.
Do sex, have ketamine.
I love that. All right, number 9. Let's move on. All right, speaking of doing sex and having ketamine, number 9, it says do something new. Which ketamine would be new for me. Sex wouldn't, sadly. You know, I'm not a virgin. Sadly. I don't know. I feel like the first time was special.
Was it special? I mean, my first time was interesting and fun. I like to tell the story of my first time because I'm always like, oh, haha, my first time was with like a 30-something married man.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. You did tell me.
And people always give me a funny look, and I'm like, ha, 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 gay culture.
That's true. That's very true, gay culture.
I was an adult at that time, by the way. I lost my virginity when I was 19 years old.
Nice.
So, like...
Wait... I lost mine before you did. Whoa, I didn't realize that.
How old were you?
I was almost 19. I was like late 18. But I waited till I was 18. And I always thought that was late. And then I realized, a lot of people who were bragging about quote unquote having sex in like high school, and even I knew some people who were bragging about having sex in middle school. I'm like, no, they weren't. They're just fucking lying to me.
It's such the weird like culture of guys constantly saying that they've had sex.
I don't get it. High schoolers are weird.
High schoolers, middle schoolers, kids are weird. But yeah, try something new. Have sex with a 30-something married man.
Well, okay. This just says something new as in like, when you're depressed, you're in a rut. Push yourself to go do something different. Go to a museum. Pick up a used book and read it on a park bench. Volunteer at a soup kitchen. Take a language class. When we challenge ourselves to do something different, there are chemical changes in the brain. Trying something new alters the levels of the brain chemical dopamine, which I like. They put the brain chemical in brackets, which implies that, like, Cook didn't actually say the brain chemical. He just said the levels of dopamine.
The brain chemical. Oh.
Which I think...
I heard you wrong. I thought they put dopamine in the brackets.
Yes.
So he said alters the brain chemical.
There's the brain chemical.
The singular brain chemical.
The only one. There's only one brain chemical. It's dopamine. But yeah, it's no, I don't think that's I don't think that's wise.
Not true at all. When I have depression, if I was forced, like, even by myself, to do anything new, my depression is going even farther down the drain.
Yeah. When I'm depressed, I need my comfort stuff. I need what I'm familiar with. I need Cheez-Its. I need Pokemon. I need things I know. And that's what, we've already mentioned that, we just need to do the things that...
Just do the things that you're familiar with. Like, even when I'm depressed, it's hard to watch a new show.
True.
Like,
yeah.
Like, I can watch new YouTube videos because I don't know what it is about YouTube videos. They're just, like, easy content that glazes over my smooth brain.
Damn.
But, like, a new show, I can't do that. If I'm depressed, I'm watching the same show I've watched a bajillion times.
Yeah. Oh
because I don't want that new information.
Yeah, I'm with you. The amount of times I've rewatched The Good Place when I'm depressed, I'm telling you, that show lifts me up.
It's The Good Place for you.
It's The Good Place. It really is. It legitimately is. Oh my god.
I mean, I like to watch. I am a cartoon man through and through. I don't watch a lot of like real style things. I love cartoons. I just watched the entirety of Amphibia in like 3 days.
I want to. I heard so much good stuff about it. I haven't actually seen it yet, though.
I will say, like, the first, like, half of the first season made me so mad because the continuity just was not there.
Ugh.
Like, they would do something that was like the worst, most egregious thing is, like, one episode is specifically about making a pizza, and it's, like, super hard to make a pizza. Mm-hmm. But then, like, 2 episodes later, all of a sudden they're, like, making a pizza, and it's, like, the easiest thing to do. And I'm like, wait, where's the continuity there? Like, for my weird little analytical brain that overanalyzes every show that I watch, it pissed me off, the first half of the first season.
Interesting.
But, like, by the end of the first season, I was hooked. I was like, I have to watch all of this.
Okay. You know what? I might have to add that to the list of things that I watch this coming week, then.
Literally, like, by the end, I was sobbing and crying and bawling. Because I was, one, so happy, and also, like, the ending is so emotional.
Aww.
Like, okay, it is a wonderful show. I loved Amphibia so much.
Good to know. All right. I'm going to have to check it out, then. Maybe by the time we record the next episode, I'll be all finished it.
But also, Kipo. Watch Kipo.
Kipo?
Kipo and the Wonder Beasts. Or Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beasts.
Never heard of it.
I don't know. It's on Netflix. It's like 3 seasons. It's already finished. One of the best animated shows I've ever watched. I love it so much.
Interesting. Okay, good to know. We're getting all sorts of recommendations today.
Exactly.
Some of them good. A lot of them from this list are not very good. No. Yeah. I hate the one that's like, take a language class. Yeah. The heaviest possible strain for your brain is learning a new language. You want to add that while you're depressed? Bad idea.
Let me learn French so I can watch French cartoons while I'm depressed.
There are some good French cartoons. Miraculous Ladybug's French.
Oh my god, it is. I've never watched Miraculous Ladybug, but as soon as you said that, I was like, holy shit, it is.
I watched the first season and I'm like, I couldn't get hooked, but I know a lot of people love it.
For some reason, so many people love it. And I'm like, why?
It's just French anime.
I mean, people probably say the same thing when I'm like, I watch Bluey, and they're like, that's a show for toddlers. And I'm like, shut up. It's a great show. You don't understand, Mom.
Yeah, I mean, true. Yeah. All right, number 10. This is the one that we've been saying this entire time. Try to have fun. It says, if you're depressed, make time for things you enjoy. Okay, maybe it's not what we've been saying the whole time. What if nothing seems fun anymore? That's just a symptom of depression. You have to keep trying anyway. As strange as it might sound, you have to work at having fun. Plan things you used to enjoy, even if they feel like a chore. Keep going to the movies. Keep going out with friends for dinner.
You had me for a second.
You had me
and
for a
then
second.
And then you were like, if it's hard work, then keep on trying.
No.
Like, no. Your fun should not be hard, even when you're depressed.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of times that fun is a nap. I know he said not to take naps.
A lot of times
you're like, you know what sounds
nap.
fun right now? Take a nap. Do
Yeah.
it. All right? Be kind to yourself.
I think a lot of people try to stick to what is fun for them when they're not depressed, even when they are depressed. And I think that's what they're recommending here. That's a bad idea. Because there are two very different moods, and it's not going to hit the same. It's just going to actively be painful for you to try and pursue doing the same things you enjoy normally.
Like, if I was super depressed and my friends were like, do you want to hang out? No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I love y'all, but no. Maybe one singular friend at my house doing what I want to do, fine, possibly. But if there's like a group of friends and they're going to like a restaurant or a movie, no. That's a nightmare scenario.
When I'm depressed, I do not want to leave my apartment. Honestly, when I'm depressed, I don't want to get dressed. Like, I'm not going out and doing all the things that I normally do to have fun. I'm just staying home naked doing nothing. You know?
Why it has to be like a really good friend that's like, you have seen me naked before, and that's probably how you're going to see me today. Yep. I'm sorry.
I'm willing to throw in maybe underwear. The emphasis on maybe. You just got to take that risk.
It's gonna be what it is, baby. I'm sorry.
And having friends that are cool with that is like a sign that you've made it as a person, as an individual.
As a gay man.
I
think that is such homosexual culture. I don't know if like straight people understand that feeling.
I don't think they do. I don't
straight people sound off below. Do you have a friend that's like seen you naked?
Do you think any you're just completely comfortable with? Show?
I don't know, maybe. Like a singular straight man. Josh. How are you doing, Josh?
Hi, Josh.
You enjoying the show? I don't know who Josh is, but if you're straight, tell us.
Yeah.
Do you have that one friend that you're just comfortable being naked around?
Maybe
like 50 friends, like most of us gays do.
I know a lot of like straight frat boys are comfortable being naked around other frat boys, which I don't know how to feel about that dynamic. Like, do you not...
I know how I feel about that dynamic.
Oh, shut up. I just think it's weird to be naked around someone you're not attracted to. You know? Like, I guess I don't know what the point of it is.
I mean, okay, when I say comfortable being naked around someone, I'm not talking about, like, the locker room shower.
Yeah.
Like, that's weird. That's weird that y'all straight people do that.
I don't get it.
It's weird that you do that, but then you don't, like, suck each other off.
Yeah! If you're gonna get naked in the locker room, at least have some fun with it, right?
The words came out of my mouth before I realized what I was saying.
No, you're good. You're good.
Y'all straight people are weird.
True. Yep. Anyway, let's move on.
Move on?
Yeah, let's talk about the number 11. The last
There's
point.
11?
Yeah, it's the top 11.
Okay.
Fun fact, they didn't end the depression list by saying try to have fun. Oh no, that would be too easy. Saying stop being depressed would be too easy. No, actually. I mean, I feel like that's what number 10 was. Try to have fun is basically don't be sad. But number 11, what it actually says, and I think this is a decent recommendation as someone who's not too...
Okay, ending strong.
Not as someone who's not too versed in what they're saying. They say avoid alcohol and other drugs. It says substance misuse is common in people who have depression. You may be more likely to turn to alcohol, marijuana, or other drugs to deal with the symptoms of your depression. It's unclear if drinking and using drugs causes depression, but long-term drug use could change the way your brain works and worsen or lead to mental health problems. Again, haven't done a whole lot of drugs. See last week's episode if you want to find out more.
It is a good idea to not use substances while you're depressed.
That is true.
I will admit.
Yeah. I have a friend who, like, I think last week I talked about, like, my friend who does cocaine. I'm like, that's what he turns to when he's depressed. I'm like, honey, no, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, don't do that.
That is a very bad idea.
Attaching your happiness to any type of substance is a one-way ticket to being addicted to the way it makes you feel.
Absolutely.
Even things that aren't like chemically addictive, that is a one-way ticket to make you addicted to it.
Because it requires, it creates like a cognitive and emotional addiction as opposed to a physical one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still bad, you know? Like marijuana isn't physically addictive, but it is absolutely cognitively addictive if you use it in the wrong way.
Exactly. Like, you see the girlies on TikTok that are like, I can quit whenever I want.
No.
And you know what? Like, I can understand why someone would want to do that, but try not to.
Try not to. It's
I'm
hard,
not going to judgment-base you for, like, doing that, because I can understand you're like, well, this makes me normally feel happy and fun, so I'm going to do it now when I'm not feeling happy and fun.
Mm-hmm.
But, so I'm not going to judge you for it, but try not to.
This is what we were saying about, like, number 10. Don't, like, the things that make you happy and that you enjoy having fun with when you're not depressed are not the things that you should be going for when you are depressed, you know? Like, sometimes you just gotta lay down on the couch and take a nap. That's the one we keep turning back to. Just take a nap and eat a bunch of Cheezos and play Mystery Dungeon or Minecraft or The Sims.
Eat something with some type of cheese dust on it and take a nap.
Yeah,
that's what you need to do.
If your bed isn't coated in cheese dust, is it really a depression episode? I don't think so.
If your hand isn't stained orange for the next month, do you really have depression?
If you're afraid of touching literally anything, that's
that may be.
You may be
a different issue.
I mean, with your Cheeto stained hands, that's what I mean. Okay. Anywho, is that our episode, or we have more to talk about right now?
I don't know. I was going to say that I went to, like, literally this last week, I went to suicide prevention training.
Nice. Good. Important thing to do.
So I went, like, as I always say, I'm a journalist. That's what I do. Anyway, something that this journalism collaborative that is in my city did recently was they had like an event that was suicide prevention training. So like a few journalists that I know and I went because we thought it was going to be like the title that they had made it sound like it was like paint and something. Oh. And it made it sound like they were going to teach you how to paint to, like, you know, get out some bad feelings. So
that could have been fun.
These friends that I had were like, oh, let's go. You know, we can talk and, you know, we can learn to paint and express our feelings and it'll be fun.
I'm guessing that's not what it was.
That was not what it was. So we went. They gave you a canvas and you were allowed to paint.
Nice.
But while you were painting, they had a full-on 2-hour suicide prevention training from a clinical psychologist.
Oh my. Don't spring that on someone. Surprise!
Like, if we would have read the fine print, I think you think journalists would be able to do that. If we would have read the fine print, we probably could have been able to figure it out.
Now, journalists are just like the rest of us. They only read headlines.
Exactly. But this lady is like, all right, now that we're painting, here are the signs of depression. And like clicks on her little thing.
Oh my God.
And we go through the 2 full hours and I got a little certificate afterwards.
You're certified now. Hell yeah.
I'm certified.
Can you be my therapist? Can I come
call
to you
me
whenever
by
I'm
your
depressed
name.
now? Mine?
No,
what?
Do not.
All right, I won't.
Like, you know what? To end this, here's some advice. Don't pressure your friends to help you when you're depressed.
True. If they're actively seeking out and like willing to help you, that's different. But like if they're not, don't force it on them. You know?
Yeah. You know, it is okay to lean on your friends when you need it, but don't force yourself onto your friends.
Absolutely.
And that is my ending advice.
Yep.
From someone who constantly messages this man on the other end of this call when I'm depressed. Don't do that.
As someone who has been everyone in my life's therapist at some point in time, despite Okay, I think everyone comes to me because like they hear I have a psychology degree. I'm like, my psychology degree is in social psych. I learn about prejudice and racism and
No.
stuff. I can't help with your depression, and everyone still turns to me anyway.
No, I turn to you because you're fun and friendly.
Aw, thank you.
And I mean, I always tell you to never to tell me to shut up if you just can't take it at that moment.
Okay, shut the fuck up, please.
All right, goodbye.
Bye. No, I'm kidding. Please, I'm kidding. That's not how we're ending the episode. Please.
Yeah, make sure that if you are straight, that you comment on our episode on Facebook.
Yes,
Facebook.
Facebook. If we
on YouTube.
Can we post this episode on? Should we set this up on Facebook?
No.
Do people listen to podcasts on Facebook video?
No,
I hadn't thought about that.
I've been promoting the place I work for is Facebook like all week. If you're straight and your name is Josh, please comment on the YouTube page. Otherwise, leave a review, a like, wherever you're listening. Thank you for listening. It's been fantastic.
Yeah.
Hopefully you don't have depression. And if you're listening to this and do have depression, hopefully we helped in some way. Like, sorry.
Sorry you had to listen to Dr. Cook shout all this bullshit and like two actually genuinely good advice points and then a bunch of bullshit otherwise. It was this is a strange episode, but thank you. I don't know how we're gonna title this. Is it gonna be like a top 10 or bottom 10 or I guess 11? I don't know.
Bottom 10 is what I call my group chat.
Oh my god.
Is our superhero group name.
I mean, let's be real. It's more like 50, but shh, don't tell anybody.
50.
Yeah. Anywho, thank you all for listening / watching. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.
Goodbye.